Hey guys, Logan and Chris coming at you today with episode 4 of Lessons with LeBlond. Before we get into the episode today, a quick announcement to make. We are going to be changing the day and time of our live streams starting next live stream. So, in 2 weeks, we are going to be going live on Tuesday at 2 o'clock. So, just wanted to make note of that. Please make sure to tune in. And again, we encourage people to leave comments, feedback, any kind of questions you have. If you miss the show and you watch it on YouTube, you can always go online and submit a web request or give us a call with your questions. We'd be more than happy to help you out. But we're going to kick off the show now. So I'm going to be outlining a new feature on our website. It is the available inventory tool on LeBlondUSA.com, and it's going to allow you to request a quote on parts for LeBlond, KOLE, Standard Modern, Deca Drill, and Johnson Press OES parts. So the cool thing about this feature is you're going to have pictures online, you're going to have descriptions online, you're going to have the part numbers online. So you can go through and you can click on what you're looking for and you can add it to an RFQ that you can then submit. Now, an important thing to note, though, is that these are just what we call fast-moving parts, parts that are bought a lot, that are needed a lot by customers. So it does not include all the parts we offer for those particular product lines. So if you don't see the part that you need listed on the website, you can still submit an RFQ, give us a call, and then we can see about offering that part. If we don't have the part, maybe we have the drawing and we can get that part made. So again, it doesn't include everything we have to offer. So please get in contact with us if you do not see your part listed on the available inventory tool on the website. So this tool is going to have e-commerce capabilities where a customer has the convenience of online shopping, but the added security where a human's going to handle your payments. So you're going to fill out the RFQ, get that submitted, but you are not going to put any credit card information on that RFQ. That RFQ is going to be received by a sales rep here at LeBlond, and that sales rep is going to reach out to you to get your credit card info. So again, you don't submit any credit card info through the website, but we will reach out to you to get that card info. And if you look on the bottom of your screen, you're going to see a banner. And again, if you want more info, you can go to LeBlondUSA.com, and it's the inventory available tab. Now, the Deca and Johnson Parts Press are going to be launching here in a couple days. The LeBlond, KOLE, and Standard Modern parts are going to be coming soon. So we will be updating guys on the launch dates of those. And now I'm going to hand it on over to Chris, who's going to be talking about general maintenance of your lathes. And again, if you guys have any questions, feel free to comment. It's what we're here for. Chris, you want to take it from here?
Yeah, I got it. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. We really appreciate it. So we're just going to go over some general maintenance. One of the common questions I get asked a lot is, how often should I change my oil? And that's really going to come down to kind of your own discretion. If you're a machine shop and you're sitting at the lathe 8 hours a day, constantly running it, you're going to want to change that oil every 3 months. You want to treat it like your car engine, and that's what's just going to keep it running that much better and longer. And another good thing to do, if you don't see them in there already, and it's also a good rule of thumb, just pick up a couple more, is get you some magnets, some nice strong magnets. They're little. You can find these at your hardware store, McMaster-Carr, Granger, and they're fairly cheap. And this is just going to help save a lot of wear and tear on your bearings and stuff. So what it's going to do, as your machine's running, there's going to be some sediment coming off, from some of the wear from the bearings, the gears running together. So there's gonna be a little bit of sediment in the bottom. I mean, you're always gonna see when you clean out when you flush the oil out, you'll see all that metal black dust all sitting in the bottom. And this is just gonna help, collect all that. So when your machine's giving your all your bearings, a splash bath, or with your hydraulic pumps for your servo shifts. It's going to help, keeping that sediment from going through the system. And especially on your servo shifts, you're going to want that just because of that filter. That filter is going to get clogged, and that's going to help keep your the pressure down that you don't need. So, it could keep your machine from shifting. So you want to keep, everything clean as you can. Also, if you can, if you've got it, you want to take off that inline filter and, replace that probably once a year. Depending on, again, how often you run the machine. If you're only running your lathe, say 2 or 3 times a week, you can probably go 6 months, and you can probably go 2 years without changing the filter. But if you don't want to change it, that's okay too. If you've got a solvent tank where you can take that inline filter off and take it over to the solvent tank and just flush it out. It's just a inline filter, kind of like what you would see on your lawnmowers for your gas. But you want to keep that clean, and that's just going to help, keep the pressure up, keep your servo shift running good, keep everything out of it so it doesn't bind up or whatnot. Get the ports clogged. So that's just a good rule of thumb. Another thing we like to do is have you, once a year, do a good run through of the headstock. And what I mean there is one of the main things that I'd like for you to check is your spindle nut. You want to make sure that's good and tight, as the machine's, running. And if you have a crash or you're coming to a stop or you got a big heavy part, that nut can back off a little bit, which is going to cause a little bit of slop in your on your chuck, and you might see, a little bit of run out. So where you want to find that, if you can see here, it's going to be in your manual, the headstock rollout page. If you guys don't have that, give us a call and we can get that page scanned over and over to you so you can kind of have a breakdown of it. But you're going to be looking right here for the spindle. And right here on number 1, I don't know if you can see that real well. Hopefully you can. But you're going to have your spindle nut there, and that's what's keeping everything good and tight for your spindle. There's going to be 3 set screws on that. So you'll want to put it in neutral, spin it around, loosen up those nuts, and it's set up for a spanner wrench. Now, if you don't have a spanner wrench, okay, that's fine. There's ways around that. One of the things I use this chisel, and I've grinded it down to a flat point. Hopefully you can see that, and you can just put that in the grooves and give it a couple knocks with your with a hammer, and you'll see it move just a slight bit. I mean, we're not looking for you to move it a whole rotation, just a couple good knocks to get it good and tight. That's good to drill everything in and keep your spindle in center, I guess, is how. I know there's probably a better word for it. I just can't think of it right now, but you know what I mean. And if you have a servo shift, you're going to wind up having to take the servo shift unit out to get to that spindle nut, but you definitely want to check that. That's just going to keep your parts coming out the way they need to be, any run out, and your machine running better. Keeping the bearings all good and tight is going to keep them from getting any uneven wear. So that's a good thing to look for. Another thing you want to do, you want to check your belts, your drive belts. And the motors are on a plate, that's hinged. That's going to work as your tensioner, so you can move it up and down and tighten them belts. So what you want on your belt, when you squeeze it, you want no more than a 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch deflection. And that's just going to keep everything in your RPMs where they need to be. It's going to help with the belt wear. If you got too much slop, they're going to be slipping on the pulley and just kind of burning themselves up. So you want to get that out too as well. And if you do have some more downtime, another thing I'd like to see is, if you can, and you got the backsplash plate on the back of your machine, you want to take that off every now and then and give the machine a good cleaning. You don't see it, and it's kind of left out of the limelight. But if you take that backsplash shield off, and I mean, it takes 10 minutes, you'll see behind that machine underneath the headstock, especially for you servo shift guys, you're going to have a massive pile of chips built up all around the hydraulic pump. And that's just going to work as an insulator for heat, which is going to cause your hydraulic pump to overheat and could cause it to blow. And then you're looking for a new hydraulic pump. So yeah, once a year, if you can take that backsplash shield off, if you got time, I get it. Machine shops are busy, and a lot of times you don't have downtime, but if you can, once a year, try to make time for that. That's just going to keep your machine running longer and way better for you, and keep having any kind of issues. That's pretty much all I got for that on the yearly the maintenance stuff that you want to look for. So yeah, Thanks, guys.
All right. And we do got a few questions coming in. So one of them is pricing going to be available for the new inventory available tool. So right now we're prioritizing the online RFQ system where you can select a part and a customer service representative is going to contact you with pricing information. So you will know the pricing before any order is processed. But again, you can select multiple parts, quantities on OES parts. There's going to be photos and descriptions online to assist you in all that. Another question we have is what kind of oil do you use on an older LeBlond lathe? And what do you use on the new machines, the RKL lathe? So let Chris take that one.
Yeah. So in your manuals, especially if you have like a 50s, 60s, 70s model, it's got a recommendation for an oil in there. And I don't think that's that oil type is available anymore. So what we recommend now is Mobile DTE 26. We try to keep it in stock. We sell it by the 5-gallon buckets. It can be somewhat hard to find. And if you can't find it, okay, that's fine. There is another brand out there that you can find at most of your automotive stores, Tractor Supplies. It's going to be AW68. It's just a non-detergent, lightweight oil that gives a great splash bath. We recommend you run that in your headstocks, your gearbox, and your apron. That way you're only buying one oil. You're not having a whole bunch of oil cans laying around for this and that. You can run that in everything. And yeah, just keeping everything good lubricated is just going to keep your machine running that much better.
Alrighty. And we got one more question coming in. Will the new parts online thing include shipping? So you can indicate whether you want to ship UPS collect or prepaid. If it is collect, you'll be asked to enter your UPS account number on the online form. And you're also going to designate your shipping and your billing address. If those are the same, you're just going to be able to click on a box, and that address will autofill to reduce the amount of typing you have to do. So with that, we're going to sign off, guys. Again, the inventory available, that's going to be going live here in a few days at LeBlondUSA.com, as you can see on the banner at the bottom of the screen there. Deca and Johnson press parts are going to be available upon launch. LeBlond, Kaolin, Standard, Modern to follow. Chris, you got anything else?
No, I just want to thank everybody, for tuning in and putting up with us. It's because of you guys, that we're still around, and going strong. We greatly appreciate it. So thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys. And if you have any questions, if you're watching this show later, give us a call at 513-943-5. That's my direct number. You can give us a call at 513-943-0099. And they'll put you in touch with parts or machine sales, depending on your questions or service related. Or you can always go to LeBlondUSA.com and you can submit an RFQ directly on the website. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We will be back with you in a couple of Tuesdays at 2:00, and we hope you enjoyed.